Hello everybody, it's JP the Outlaw here to give you my review of WWE Extreme Rules. Let's start it off with the kickoff show. Now earlier this weekend I put out a prediction episode and I thought that it would be Goldust versus R-Truth in the kickoff show. They always have one. The kickoff show didn't get announced till Sunday, which was Kalisto versus Apollo Crews. Now, I like Apollo Crews. I had Apollo Crews winning this match. I would like for them to do something better than what they're doing with Apollo Crews. I think that he has he reminds me of Shelton Benjamin from back in the day. I think he can go inside the ring and be pretty good if they put the right machine behind him. Now, as far as his mic skills are completely fucked. I'm cool with Kalisto picking up this win. Of course, just to give you a little of what happened, of course, Titus O'Neil cost him this match by hanging on the end of the rope, and Kalisto kind of hit a insecurity type move off the rope over top, like a Spike Dudley, a schoolboy almost. Like a Spike Dudley schoolboy off the rope onto the mat, pins up, rolls up, what is this? Apollo Crews for the win. Which brings us into our first match of the night, which was The Miz and Dean Ambrose. Now, Otunga in the pre-show was talking shit about Dean Ambrose. And again, to the credit of The Miz is just the shit on the mic. I don't think right now nobody can touch The Miz as far as the WWE mic skills are concerned. You know, even with what's been going on with him and Renee Young and Dean Ambrose all the way up until this point, he still manages to make it fresh and from a new perspective. So, this match was pretty good. It all broke down towards the end. Of course, Miz asks Maurice to slap him to get him disqualified. And once she slaps him and try to get him disqualified, the ring throws Maurice out of the match. And that pretty much breaks down from there. The Miz goes directly after knocking Dean Ambrose out before all of the breakdown. The Miz goes directly back to Dean Ambrose, pushes Dean Ambrose into the ref. The ref gets ready to call the match. The match, as he goes to call it, The Miz jumps up, Lobos Dean Ambrose, rolls him up for the pin. The ref slides back into the ring. 1, 2, 3. The Miz wins the Intercontinental title. Now, the logic gaps in that is significant because, again, if you're thinking, if he's going to call the match, he walked all the way around the ring apron. Again, he gets right to the timekeeper. He should have called the fucking match. He could have did the wave indicating that the match was over. And again, Dean Ambrose could have kept the title. Now, I understand why you would put it on The Miz. Because Dean Ambrose is a better challenger as far as the mid-card is concerned. You know, I wouldn't run this Dean Ambrose thing again. I would probably try to let's get a title on Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor and The Miz would be something good. It will give Finn Balor the rub. Of course, he can hold it for like a month or 2, 3 months in a program with The Miz. And I think that it would be perfect for both characters to build on Raw. That's the end of that match. Leading into the second match, which again, mixed tag match, which I would have started off the pay-per-view with, but a mixed tag match between Rick Swann and Sasha Banks and versus Noah Dar and Alicia Fox. Of course, I had Sasha Banks and Rick Swann winning this match. Couple of big spots, but nothing real major. Of course, Rick Swann and Sasha Banks pick up the win. Moving on to the third segment, which was Elias Sampson in an in-ring segment which I believe he is getting a good push. I believe he had a whole song drawn out to where as though the song was, highlighting Extreme Rules. Somebody got to challenge the beast out of these 5 men on this dark, lonesome road. Some crazy shit of that nature. Check it out. Go see it for yourself. That brings us into the next match, which was Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Now, earlier in this, they could do a segment with Bayley backstage, and Bayley is literally the female John Cena at this point. You want to like Bayley, and you want Bayley to get over. But in the same sense, when you book her like a fucking 4-year-old, there is no way for Bayley's character to get over. Everybody has that point where they're forced to do something that they don't want to do. Again, how you should have booked this, again, if you wanted to take the title and give it back to Bayley, you should have had her turn right then and there. Right then and there. You should have had her turn a switch where she took this a little bit more serious. But again, that's okay, because Alexa Bliss is a better champion. Not saying that her segments in that one fucking segment on Raw, of course, would be shitty because Raw is a shit show. But the one segment on Raw does not define Alexa Bliss. I think she will be fine going forward, especially with somebody credible like a Sasha Banks, Nikki Jax. Speaking of Nikki Jax, you put her on a fucking kickoff show, which makes no sense, but she cuts a phenomenal promo. I'm expecting to see her on Raw, please. I mean, if she, mic performance-wise, if she can get out there and do what she does, man, that'd be perfect. Hell, you can have her and Sasha Banks in the number 1 contender match. Boom, there you go. For Great Balls of Fire. And that was actually the 4th fucking match, but the 4th segment of the night. Then you get into Neville and Austin Aries. Now, I'm surprised that they let the cruiserweights go on as late as they did. I believe that not the cruiserweights. The cruiserweights went on 6, but let me talk about Matt and Jeff first. Great match. I like the cage match. I like the aspect of it. A little bit too much selling, but they had to fill the time slot that they had, so I understand it. Of course, you get a segment where you got the Hardys. Jeff goes over. Jeff was the first one out of the ring. After Jeff gets out of the ring, he's begging fucking Matt to bring his ass. Fucking Sheamus and Cesaro beating the shit out of Matt. They get to the point where, alright, we're gonna climb up. Jeff immediately jumps up to the top of the steel cage, hits a whisper in the wind, knocking out Sheamus and Cesaro. Okay? After he finished knocking out Sheamus and Cesaro, Matt realizes what's going on, tries to pull Jeff out of the ring. Sheamus and Cesaro at the same time is coming too. They're going to the top of the cage, trying to climb over the fucking cage, okay? They're damn near on the outside of the cage while you got Matt pulling Jeff outside of the cage door. Matt jumps down, gets himself out as he's pulling Matt. Freaking Sheamus and Cesaro jump downs at the same time. Again, I like it. I like the way it was booked. I think it was perfect. What do you do with Matt and Jeff? I feel as though after this, of course you can give Jeff a nice singles run. You can do something with the IC title, because I believe Jeff also holds a record of an IC title run. I think him and Jericho has the most IC title runs. So you could do something with him and The Miz. Sheamus and Cesaro is your current tag team champions after tonight. And I think that's good for them. They beat everybody in the fucking tag team division. I would like them to go up against the Club or somebody else just so they can get over. I mean, you got to build some more tag teams up. You can't just... I mean, American Alpha would be great. What the fuck? Where are they at? Bring the American Alpha back and let them go at it with Sheamus and Cesaro, and I bet you get a great match. All right? And that's just, basic booking. Heel versus face. Boom, there it is. I mean, you could do the heel versus heel, but that's basically all you got on SmackDown. I mean, Raw, I'm sorry. So, what are you going to do? Moving into the next match, Neville versus Austin Aries. Now, on the build to this match, and, they highlighted, they run the highlights before every match, and then the build for this match, they would make you believe that Austin Aries was going to go over. I even like how all the finishes went in the last couple pay-per-views for Austin Aries was dirty. He cheated just to get over. I'm thinking, okay, big payoff. Of course, the babyface has to win, and if he does not win, what does that do for Austin Aries? Now, I don't feel as though you can bury an Austin Aries just based off of his career in the Indies. He already has a big name. And for a long time, him and Neville was carrying 205 Live. So, me personally, I would like to see Aries again. And you can take him out of the cruiserweight division all the way around. Not saying that he doesn't have to compete in it, but you can use him other places. Again, the IC title. You got to have a good competitor to go against The Miz. And I think Austin Aries versus The Miz on the mic would be fucking awesome. And this is just me shooting out some ideas. What do you do next? But back to the match. Just to go over the finish, Austin Aries is on the inside of the ring after knocking Neville outside of the ring. He's going for a big spot where he dives outside the ring, and I swear to God, I thought he killed his fucking self. He got caught up on a rope, his foot did, and the way he landed on the outside was a crazy thud. And then, Neville picks him up, slides him back in the ring, hits him with a red arrow, and goes into his Rings of Saturn. Great fucking segment, great fucking move as far as the in-ring performance. That was just fucking great. It told his own story. The match itself was good. I would give it, if not the second best match of the night, maybe even the third. But pretty good fucking match. Pretty good fucking match. I can't really say nothing bad about the cruiserweights. I feel as though after watching this match, I'm missing out on 205 Live. That's how I feel. And I've been the biggest advocate to not watch 205 Live after they start tossing around, what's the girl's name? Alicia Fox. After they start tossing her around like a goddamn belt, she was dating this guy, dating that guy, I decided to stop watching. Now I feel as though after watching this match, I've been missing out, and then I have to get back into 205 Live, just based off of Neville and Austin Aries. So, boom. And that brings us into our final match of the night. 5-way match. Fatal 5-way. Extreme Rules match. You got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe. Now, going into this, I called Joe. It was either Joe or Bray, because I felt as though if you would have did it with anybody else, it would have been a wasted opportunity to put somebody else in that spotlight. And this is not WrestleMania. This is not the Royal Rumble. So I feel as though what happened tonight was a good call on the WWE. I mean, of course, they had their fuck-ups throughout the whole pay-per-view to get here. And I've made my fair assessment of it. But I feel as though Joe winning at this pay-per-view to earn the opportunity to go up against Brock Lesnar, giving everybody what they really wanted from that fantasy fucking booking bullshit with Goldberg. I mean, this is a match that, okay, both competitors can still go at it. Brock Lesnar is a fucking freak. Samoa Joe is a beast. What's the problem here? the match books itself.